This is Jamila Love of Black Authors on a Rise segment. I'm here with Atlanta writer Ramadan Nanji, an urban lifestyle specialist and classic American storyteller, here to talk about his Devil's Paradise, a love story. Thank you for sitting down with us. So let's get right into it.
You're welcome, actually. Thank you for having me as well. Thank you.
At what point did you realize you weren't the victim in your own story?
I realized I wasn't a victim in my story soon as I got arrested. Like, right after I processed that I was in prison, right after I processed, not jail, not when I got not in jail because it's still crazy. But once I got my time and I had to settle in to do prison time, then I was like, I did this to myself. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I got a chance to sit down and be like, oh shit, I'm in prison, and I was like, damn, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I realized pretty early because I was only in jail like 3 months before I copped out, took a plea, and did my time. Like I was out right immediately. I was like, yeah, give me some. I'm guilty. Yeah, I'm caught. All right, let's get the bid. Let's get to jailing. I knew about prison. Like I knew I had visited people in prison, and when I had visited my uncle, I understood what going to prison and doing time was. I didn't know him before this, his prison life. So going to prison, visiting someone there taught me about being in prison. So I didn't know about being in jail, but I knew about being in prison. So I kind of early realized, okay, I did a crime and it's time for me to now start serving my time.
What do you understand now about women that you didn't understand then?
What I understand now about women that I didn't understand then is if a woman is in love with you, she will follow your lead anywhere. If that's on a road to salvation and greatness and positive things, then she'll do that. If it's on the road to wild style, crime, and crazy gangster lifestyle shit, she'll follow you to that too. It's just your job to not steer her in the wrong way. You know what I mean? It's if they love you, they're down for whatever, and they'll follow you to the ends of the road, the end of the earth if they have to. Not even if they have to, they will. They will follow you to the ends of the earth until the thing that you're doing with them doesn't suit them anymore. And that usually takes a long time. So I definitely led some women down a path of destruction, or rather, I let them ride in the car with me as I drove down the road of destruction, and, they had to pay some consequences just like I did. So I think what I learned is when a woman is in love with you, you have the responsibility of doing the right thing with that love. I didn't know that before.
Why do some men confuse being needed with being loved?
I think some men misunderstand being needed as being loved because for most men, being needed is a form of love. Like it's something that is under the love umbrella. Like, black women love black men, so they need them. They don't need you specifically, but they need interaction with black men because that's what they love. So, um, a part of being needed a part of being needed as a man can be something as simple as companionship and We think just because she wants you to be her companion, that means that she loves you. She's not in love with you. She loves having a companion, but that doesn't mean she loves you. Most of us know that. It's hard to accept, but we know when you just love men, not necessarily me per se. That can be confusing, but when you deal with the truth of it, you'll realize like that's just some life shit.
Did you ever mistake silence for peace in a relationship?
Did I ever mistake silence for peace in a relationship? I'll say yes, in that at one time I thought if a woman wasn't beefing at you or arguing or causing some kind of drama, then everything's fine. And I was so used to that form of communication, the dramatics, the tantrum side of behavior, of women's behavior, that uh, I thought if she didn't say anything, then everything was fine. If she was quiet and there was silence, then that's peace. It's not at all, though. It just means that she doesn't beef, but you still ain't doing right. You still a problem. She's just not being loud and rowdy about it. So that's some other shit I learned.
What does accountability actually cost a man?
What does accountability cost in a man? Um, the cost of accountability is you give up freedom, and freedom in a not freedom in the sense that you're not able to do anything, but you give up the freedom of recklessness where you can just do whatever you want without any consequences at all. You can violate relationships or violate people in relationships and have no consequences of that. But once you start becoming accountable for your own actions, you start to realize what you're doing and how what you're doing affects other people. Then you're no longer able to do that because now you know better. And once you know better, then you're left in a situation where like, do am I going to continue to be this other side? Do I like what I know? First, do I like no, do I care about the consequences? Like, do I care if this hurts somebody else? Do I care if I violate other people or other people's families? If I don't care, then I can continue being whatever, or being involved in whatever tomfoolery or knuckleheadness I'm involved in. But if I do care, then I have to do something about that, which is to change my behavior. So the accountability, the cost of it is just the freedom to be reckless, the freedom to be carefree and not emotionally or be spiritually affected by, what you have done to others negatively.
What do you hope a woman feels after finishing the full audio novel?
Three things that I want women to get after they listen to this novel. One is I want younger women to have a blueprint for what the other side of a relationship looks like sometimes. A lot of times you only get to hear one side of the person's behavior, and when you hear it from only one side, you don't understand what it is. So sometimes you give it a pass, and instead of giving it a pass, you should look at it as a red flag. So I want younger women to say, okay, these are red flags, not things that I can give a pass in a relationship. Second, I want them to be protect themselves from this street element, this street criminal element, or the guy who is a bad boy, and the bad boy, everybody loves a bad boy, everybody likes the street guy, the tough guy, blah 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 bullshit. But those niggas are fucking your life up. they will totally destroy your life. So young girls have to understand how much of a problem those type of men are. And there's nothing nice or kind or fun about that shit, because you're going to have just as much complication as he can have. You'll have just as much drama and consequence to the drama that he'll have. And third, um, I want them to understand how powerful they are and how much power they have over someone in a negative situation. A lot of men will, a lot of men will change if a lot of men will change if they don't get access to you. They'll be willing to change their behavior. They'll be swayed to go other ways if they can be convinced that what they're doing is wrong. And I'm not saying to go around saving dudes, like that's crazy. But I am saying that if you're in a relationship with someone who is on a negative path, you have more influence over them than you realize. And you can get them off the path if you get off the path. So don't ride out with this dude through these negative lifestyles. You get off the path of destruction or self destruction. And once you're off, then you say to him, hey, come over here. It's much better on this side. So yeah, lastly, you have the power to save yourself and also save someone else in that situation, all based on the love you have. And that's powerful.